been in the studio since early this morning. I'm working on finishing out these cloth strips that go over my cushions in my bus. The seat ones work just like I expected them to, but the back ones don't compress as much because I think it's because it was a mattress that I cut in half instead of it just being a piece of memory foam. I've worked with memory foam before and it compressed all right, but this is super dense foam in the middle, and it just doesn't compress as much as I thought it would. And because of that, these have to have more fabric on them. And I put an extension on, here was the original end of it, and I put this extension, which is about 7 inches, onto that, and it works good. I've tried this one on before I completed the bottom part of the Velcro, and I've got that done also now. But I had to see just what I was working with, if I'd have to add some more to the bottom, and if it's pretty good now. Yeah. So little things like that, you just have to make a adjustment. Yeah. And that's what I've been doing this morning, is making adjustment to that piece of cloth that goes over the mattress. I haven't been on for a while. I've got some video I've got to edit on my process for making the butcher block top, and also on some of the renovations we've done. I've got some videos I need to edit on those, and hopefully I'll get those edited and get that put on fairly soon before it becomes so stale that it's not even useful to anybody at all. I spent a week getting ready for camp. I think I posted one video that week, and I spent a week at camp. I thought I'd do some process while I was at camp, but that's not what ended up happening, and my life is a little more impromptu than it's ever been. But you know what? It works, so that's how it was. I ended up scrapping one project that I did a video on the process for it, and it just, when I got to doing it, I realized that I could really get into it, but that my campers were not going to love it. The campers are in situations of stress, and they aren't going to like anything that adds more stress. And that was kind of one of those projects that I liked it, but it was a little more than I was willing to take to camp. I did not do a couple of the projects that I thought I would do, but the kids seemed to enjoy the ones they did. I decided I was not going to be the art police this year. I was not going to try to make people do stuff. And as a result, the simpler things were done, and the more aggressive things were done by a very few. Yeah, and that's okay with me. I wanted to be able to show you some of the new processes that I'm kind of working with, and I will try to do that very soon. I need to take you back into my bus and show you the things I've done and things I'm getting ready to do. I've got to make doors for it on the cabinet, the tall cabinet that I made. I'm considering not putting doors on the cabinet where the workstation is. I think maybe that might be something that needs to be open storage. The other side probably needs the doors on it, yeah. And I've still got a table to make for the back, and I've still got to make the main dining table, and configuration for a small bed that will help if we have an extra person along, like we're going to have when we take this next trip we're getting ready to take. So I've still got a little bit of stuff I've got to get done before we go wandering in it, but I'm excited about doing it. I'm going to have to figure a couple of logistic things out. I'll have to make some reservations at some campsites online so that we're prepared for the nights and the visits. But we got to figure out where we're going and when we're going there first. And so I need to talk to a few people before I make those kind of decisions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set this cushion down for just a little bit while I put these strips that are going to hold it in place onto the Velcro back here. That's going to be a little bit hard, but not too hard. Luckily, these won't have to be taken off and put back on real often. Yeah. If they did, that'd be a pain. I think once they're on there, they're going to be on there. Have to take the top off maybe to move it, if we have to move it. But see, I've got to find the right ones. This one has to go on this end, and this one goes on this end. So, yeah. Now we get to see if I'm right. Oh, yeah. What I need is to pull this out so that I can perhaps really tuck that in there a little bit. Okay, I didn't let you see my struggle, but I've sort of got this on. It's a little more wrinkledy than I want it to be, but it's basically right. And we'll see how it does with the compression and all. It seems like it's compressing pretty good, actually. And now that I've got those on, and yeah, it's a little bit snugger, a little bit more snuggy than it was before. But it's not a bad couch. No, it's not a bad place to sit at all. We have a small air conditioner and the butcher block top for working, and that was a real nice little workstation while I was at camp. Worked real good. Here are the seats. This seat comes up. You gotta push this thing up to get it up, and sometimes you have to step on it a little bit to get it to come up, and this comes up and makes a seat. And this one comes down, and then the top comes up to make the other seat. And there'll be a table right here at about this height. That table then is going to drop down to just below this height, and when this is down and the table drops down to this height, you'll be able to make a small bed on it. Not a real big bed. I didn't bring my measuring tape, but it's close to 5 foot to this point right here. Thing is, this bed will come out to about this far. And so when it's down, when that bed's down, this unit has to be put up. So what I'm wanting to do, if I can make it work right, is I want to make a top that will fit over here, will pull off and fit over here, a butcher block top, with edges on it to where it'll fit on that, right on over to the tall cabinet. And then it will come across over here, come out and down, and it will give about 15 inches or so space right here. And this will come out of it, so it's not going to be uber comfortable for a long, tall person, but it will give a little bit of a sleeping space. I don't see us traveling with 3 people and all sleeping in here. That could happen, but I see a small person and us two, and all of us being able to sleep in here more than I do that. So we have used it down and put support across it and used it with the mattress on it already. Just took the mattress off of this when we didn't, because we didn't have the legs done, so 2 people could sleep. This is the forward facing seat. It has belts, seat belts. I don't know if you can see those, but it does have seat belts. And so probably that's where the extra person will sit on our next trip, is right here. Right here, close to the window, probably with the table down, in a booster car seat, and that's probably how he's going to ride, is with the table to work on and booster car seat. He could sit in one of the rear-facing ones, but I figure if we travel, I'll probably sit in the rear-facing seat, either there or there, and maybe we can play some games and things like that while we're traveling a little bit, to make it a little less boring. And he really likes his tablet, and I've got a tablet as well, so maybe he can kind of go back and forth with that. These windows open. This one will open, but it's a little harder to get open because you have to reach in behind this cabinet. This right here looks like it's not there, but this is actually, and when I bring my hand up, you can see that's plexiglass right there. And the reason I put plexiglass in was so that you can get the light through there. You can see a little bit. When I was driving, I could see a little bit. But mostly the light, the extra light back here is really handy. My husband this next week is going to wire new lights up in here. I think that's what he said. And do some other wiring work. He's an electrician, and he's also a honeydewer. So he's going to kind of do that so that we have good ambient light and we have good task light. We don't need task light everywhere. We need task light back in this area right here, and we're going to put a real strong task light up here. But we need ambient light, traveling back and forth light up and down, and it's got these little LED lights down this strip here. We'll probably have to replace some of those. I don't know if you can really see them or not, but these are LED lights, and this side doesn't work. This side over here does work. So we have to do a little bit, see if it's electrical, see if it's just burned out, replace what we have to. Yeah, I used this little light as a task light, but it loses its brightness after an hour or so being on, and the battery will last for a long time, but it loses that brightness. So I ended up bringing a clamp lamp from home and using it during my camp. Okay, right back here you can see I've faced out this lower part. Let me just lower that down so you can see. I've faced out these two. There's going to be a drawer in here, I know. And I'll probably put doors on this down here, and I may put doors on this one here. I'm talking about putting a door all the way down here, and just across from there, here, and across from there, down. But I haven't got the logistics on that 100% yet. If I do, it will probably be solid. It probably won't be plexiglass. It might be acrylic. Who knows? But I got to get it done soon because we're going to travel with it. Anyway, that's kind of where I've been and what I've been doing, and why I haven't been on. But I'm home, and I'm busy, and I'm excited about the stuff I have to do in the next few days. So I hope that you have enjoyed our little bit of time, and I hope that you will join me again in my studio or in my bus or my kitchen or wherever life takes me.